Okay, so we're modeling the function rule with the table of values in the graph. And the function rule says, whatever the value of x is, take a sixth of it and then add 3. Okay, now, since we're taking a sixth of something or dividing it by 6, one thing would be it would make sense for us to pick multiples of 6 or even multiples of 3, right, to get halves. We're not going to worry about that. We're going to use the values that they gave us. Okay, what is plugging in? I'm going to write the function rule down here. Y equals 1/6 x plus 3. And what we get is then 1/6 of whatever value we're going to plug in here, and we'll use this repeatedly, plus 3. Okay. What is the number? -1. So when we multiply 1/6 times -1, we just get -1/6 plus 3. Okay. Now, how do you think about this? If you understand fractions, this is pretty straightforward to think about. You're saying, I'm going to take one of these 3, leaving us with 2, okay? And I'm going to break it into, what does 1 break into in terms of sixths? It would break into 6 sixths, okay? So what I'm going to do is say, we've got -1/6 plus the 2 ones that we left whole plus the one that we broke into 6 to be 6 sixths. You should be able to see this as being equal to 1. And then 2 plus this other 1 is the 3 we had here. All we did is took one of them and cut them into parts. It's that where 6 of those parts make a whole thing. Okay? And now we can combine these two things, because what we're saying is this is how much you've got. You want to take away one of those sixths, and if there's 6 of them there, taking away one of them would make 5, and you would have then 2 and 5 sixths. 2 and 5 sixths. Okay, so if we go over here to -1, we want to go up to 2 and 5 sixths, which is a little bit less than, it's a sixth less than 3, right about there. Okay. Now let's erase the number that we put in here, and let's evaluate it for a different amount. Okay. And get all the subsequent stuff out of there. So what if we plugged in 0, which is the next number? 0. Okay. What's 1/6 times 0? It is 0. And 0 plus 3, it is just 3. So at 0, we would go all the way up to 3. Right there. Okay. And let's evaluate it one more time. Oh, and by the way, let me write it in here. It's 3. Let's evaluate it one more time for the next number, which is 1. So what we're going to do is we're going to plug 1 in. 1/6 times 1, anything times 1 stays the same. So we've got 1/6. And now since we're adding it on, we don't need to take away from the 3. We just have to tack that extra 1/6 onto the 3. And we get 3 and 1/6. Okay, and how do you graph that? Well, first let me write it in here as 3 and 1/6. And now we're going 1/6 of a unit above 3. But first we got to go over to 1. We go over to 1, up to 3, and then a sixth more than that. It's about right there. Okay, and you can see if we drew a line through that, do a blue line through it, it would look something like, oops, something like that. Okay, and as you'll come to find out later, this number right here at the end is telling you where it's crossing the y-axis, and it crosses it exactly 3, so that's good. So that's what it looks like.